WSL champions.
Good evening and welcome to Vic Akers Wonderland. We are back. What a weekend of football. I mean, I enjoyed myself. As always, I am joined by Matt and Adam. How are you, Adam?
Still recovering. The trauma will linger. I mean, we won, but just out of the stress. It's just, I mean, it was, well, we'll get into it, but it was just one of those weekends, wasn't it?
Yeah, you could say that. But at least you were at the game, unlike myself and Matt. Matt, how was your weekend?
Well, it was a very interesting weekend, that's for sure. Some bad news, but we'll get over that when you've got these lovely two people who are beside us. Me, sorry, us. Talking women's football and most especially Arsenal women and women's football in general. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think the latest bit of news is we sold, I believe, 21k tickets for our semi-final. And the time hasn't even been released. I do feel we're going to hit 40 once that time is released because it is a bank holiday. I mean, our last quarterfinal last year against Wolfsburg only sort of sold 5,000, and all three of us were there. Oh no, sorry, Matt. I do apologise. I thought you did come down for a game last season, didn't you? The Emirates?
Last season, I did Tottenham.
Yes, that's why I do apologise. But yeah, no, me and Adam were there, and this time Matt's going to come down, so the game's going to be together for the game. Although Adam has abandoned us for club level.
Yeah, I've ditched you, unfortunately.
But brigade.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah. I love a bit of prawn mayo on my bread and butter. So I shall be enjoying that along with the complimentary program and the free halftime drink. But hopefully we shall all meet up afterwards to celebrate yet another triumph. We shall see.
Oh no, definitely. Man United has also been rescheduled for the 19th of April, which is really interesting. But this is, as the viewers on YouTube will see, Matt's just covered his face. He's not too thrilled about it. But another absolute happy story that should put everybody in a very extremely good mood. Beth Mead is back up and literally running.
Yes.
Last week at the quarterfinal, second leg, Beth was. I was thankfully I didn't get too wet. I was in row 21 up the block, so I had the ledge of club level keeping me dry. But she said that she's going to start running next week, and we got videos that she was up and running. Viv didn't look very impressed, standing on the side.
She's jealous.
Yeah, she's up and running. How are we feeling about that?
Very good, very good. It's good to see her, able to. Well, it's obviously it's in the special machine, which I've seen the videos and I think I would love to. I mean, you have to have done your ACL in order to use it, but I'd love to just see it's like an anti-gravity machine. I've no idea what it's doing, but it just looks awesome. Just the whole thing, because it looks like you're standing in a kayak. But you're not, and it's like a weird sort of fish tank underneath. Do
you know what? I got to be honest with you. She looked like she was just running in an unpoppable bubble. To me, that's what it looked like.
Almost like
and there's like a treadmill on the bottom, obviously running against. It looked bizarre, and it looked like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And yeah, hopefully Viv will be on that in about a month or two because she's obviously behind in her injury. But she was looking on, and I think she'll be on there soon enough. But no, it's good to see Beth running and good to see Beth smiling and clearly enjoying being the centre of attention as we know she does. So it was it's a really nice clip and really good to see. So look forward to seeing her play again next season.
It was great to see Beth being there and happy and things like that. And then you got Viv in the background going, it's not my turn yet, which was quite nice. But obviously she's needing to be back on the pitch and things like that. But it's going to come with time, and it'll be very interesting to see where this team is come their post-recovery, towards the end of the pre-season as well. So as well. We'll be talking about maybe a couple of weeks before our first WSL game of the season, which is supposed to be the weekend after the 2nd of September. So,
Adam. Yeah, hopefully they'll be fit by then.
Well, that's the idea, hopefully, but I think it'll be dragged. They'll be brought on slowly. They'll be like
they'll be gradually introduced again to the team.
So
thing is, it's like, although in theory, if they both of them, obviously Viv won't be going up for World Cup duties, but it's still potential for Beth, and we know what Beth's like when she's got an idea in her head. She's going to go for it. So hopefully they both come back and they're fully fit and there's no other problems.
I'm hoping that if Beth doesn't get selected, I'm hoping that England just turn around to her and just say, if you want to carry on with your recovery. Sorry, Adam, I didn't get that.
No, I didn't get that. Your internet dropped.
Oh.
No.
No? Okay. Oh, dear.
Quickly, before we lose you.
Before we lose you again.
No.
No. Sorry, Matt. Continue what you were saying.
So, I'm hoping that Serena just says to her, go, and you'll come and you'll be training with us. Not like David Beckham did again in South Africa, where he was just there on the bench for no apparent reason, just there just to train, and then she'll go when England do play, she'll be up in she'll either be up in the well, actually it'll be good for her to be up in the stands away from the action, because I can't go through imagine a Georgia Stanway last minute winner in the quarterfinal, and Beth running around halfway up the other end of the field trying to chase after Georgia Stanway. I don't think it'd be good for a lot of us.
Oh no, I think you'll give Arsenal fans heart attacks if you start picturing that with her just starting running again, if I'm honest with you.
Although it didn't stop any Carpenter when Leon won the Champions League, when she did her ACL, and you see her sprinting on the crutches.
Oh no, definitely. So it'd be interesting to see what happens over the next after this, because this is the last international break now before the World Cup in July. It's exciting times, and we've got some juicy fixtures, which we will get onto later as England fans. But I think something else that is really, before we get into the good stuff, I think something that needs to be talked about is the BBC commentary from Hope Howell, and her pronunciation and players' names. I mean, we all know it's Katie McCabe. We had Kirsty McCabe come from her. She didn't even attempt to pronounce Laura Reinreuter's surname. She called D'Angelo that keeper. I mean, it's, for me personally, commentary is basic research. I know she's been around for a long time, and it's a case of you just need to scrub up a little bit, because there's new players that have come in to Watford, especially for us, especially over the last 2 winter windows. You need to have a look at these players and get to know them.
It's very disappointing, because Hope Howell is a legend. I mean, which is not a criticism of her personally. We wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for Hope Howell. And she put the Lioness on the map. She is amazing. We love her. Thank God for Hope Howell. But unfortunately, it just had she just didn't look. It's obviously out of her depth, and I'm worried if maybe the modern game has sort of surpassed her. Obviously, she sadly lost her job at Brighton. We'll obviously talk a bit about Brighton later, but I think it's interesting looking at Brighton where they're on the table now, and you wonder, what was she doing at Brighton for the last 5 or so years? They haven't really, and I do wonder if maybe, as great as an icon as she is, whether she still has the knowledge to manage at this level, or even, as we see, commentate at this level. I just said there was couldn't even be bothered to pronounce Reuter's name. Well, she's been in circulation for ages. She's been in the league for a long enough time, over a year, for everybody to know how to pronounce her name. Sabrina couldn't be bothered to, call her name correctly, and just a real lack of knowledge. It was just very infuriating. And we expect better. We don't expect much. We just expect a level of competency to sort of know what you're talking about, especially if you've been brought in. If you've been brought in simply because you're the ex-England manager, there are people who know the league better and more in depth, who deserve the chance to be on the gantry with a microphone calling the game. I should also just make a point that as much as we are slating Hope Powell on this, it was actually Reshman who called Kirsty McCabe twice in the post match. And again, brilliant presenter, does a lot of great stuff. And I can sort of half excuse that if it's a slip of the tongue. It was an exciting moment. I do it all the time on this podcast. I've said things wrong. I'll probably call Matt Michael at some point just because not getting really words right.
I even get you two mixed up. I had a period of time where I was calling it Matt Adam, Matt sort of thing, and it's I go get it.
Yeah, it should be doing a lot better.
It is one of those things you look at, and Michael McCann, great commentator for the women's game, who's putting on a thread on Twitter for literally what he does. So he's got a video of what goes on match days. He then has threads what goes on if there's anything like that he doesn't know or doesn't know how to pronounce that name. He's going on asking supporters club. He's going asking members of that countries, and it comes really badly. But you look at somewhere like Arsenal. Arsenal are probably one of the best ones at the moment. If you look at it, when Laura joined, one of the first things Arsenal did was made sure that they got Laura to pronounce her name so that we could get her name right and not get it wrong.
They also did the same for Raffaele as well, because a lot of people were calling her Raffaele, and it's the R in, is it Portuguese she speaks?
Yeah.
Is basically a H sound.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I completely get it. It's just I think what I'm picking at is it's basic research that needs to be done.
It does,
regardless of who you are, if that makes sense.
It doesn't happen in the men's game. You don't have someone turning around and saying buoyancy Macca or whatever for a player. It's all there, and all that research is there. It's there at your fingertips. If it's on your phone, it's on your tablet, it's on your computers, and it all it needs is a click of a button or just searching. A lot of the stuff that we do, even on here, I might look up a stat like the Man City, the game against Man City, just to see the shots or anything like that. That takes less than 5 seconds.
No, agreed.
It just seems like
agreed. And it's not like Meadow Park has rubbish signal, because it doesn't.
It's not the Emirates.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still convinced they've got jammers on there, because before half time and after game, they've got full 5G network. So, but yeah, no, it's just basic research. I really don't like starting the podcast on a negative note like that.
And does bring up a good point though. We've got some legends in the game. You look at someone like Jill Scott, who'd be very intellectual, and she'll be really good on the mic because she does love a good chat.
Yeah,
we know that for a fact.
And that is why she's got a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Imagine just going up to a coffee shop and just having a good old natter with her. That'd be just absolutely amazing.
It just begs the question: if someone like a Hope Powell is past the point where she's able to do anything in football, and unless it's more of like a guidance, maybe she can do more of the young development of the game instead of the looking after the senior teams and manage those teams. If she can't do what she wants, and that's honestly, if that was an audition for yourself trying to get a new job somewhere, it's a really poor audition.
I don't think the BBC will call her back.
Yeah, no.
It'll be interesting to know how many people have complained about her actually. Just those numbers. I can't remember.
It's probably mostly, I hate to say it, our fan base. Because I've got to be honest with you, and someone like, I think, who was it? Hasegawa. It took me a few times. I had to listen to that recording a few times before I even pronounced that. And it's easier for me to pronounce Rumorita than it is that. I'll be honest with you. But I'm kind of one to talk because I'm the one who sits here, gets muddled up, I get tongue tied, I end up stuttering. Do you know what I mean? So it's not that I want to have a go at her, but it's just a basic standard of professionalism, maybe. Do you think?
Yeah, and it's a lot. It's not. I mean, it's not just Hope. Yeah, there's a lot of commentators who do
Oh
it.
no,
and,
it's not just her, but this is just the most recent thing that's really stuck out. So.
And we've sort of accepted it for so long. It's just like, oh, it's just part of things. Like, no. We no. This is no. This is not the women's football of 5 years ago. You know, if we want to treat it as a premier product, when it's going to lots of people and lots of people watching and tuning in, and they're hearing people say Medema and Medema, and yeah, exactly, and Laura Williamson, and calling Rafaela Gabrielle.
She does have a middle name with Gabrielle in it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
so we got 4 Gabbies in.
4 Gabbies. Well, yes, if they really want to go down that route, it's just.
But she was the one who said she felt left out. Come on. That was the interview.
Just
I know you both saw it.
Of like a Spider-Man, the Spider-Man iconic would just point, all 4 of them pointing to each other.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. That would be really good.
I'll tell you what, that would make a really nice poster.
Afraid internet connectivity problems may dog this podcast. We urge viewers to hang it.
Oh god!
It's
But
always
anyway,
fun. It's always fun in games when you do these. It's not fun when unless someone has some sort of internet problems.
oh yeah, no, 100%. Sometimes it's nice to run smoothly.
This is revenge for me mocking Lottie after hers fell over this time last week. So,
yeah,
you know,
pretty much.
Karma works.
This is karma. It does work. I love a bit of karma, me.
Scores. That is atypical for the Amina Margot.
Just a bit, which is our game of the weekend. We had to wait till Sunday, but do you know what? I was all right with that. There was only one other game, and I didn't really bother watching that. So, but Arsenal City. So within 5 minutes, Chloe Kelly crossed into Bunny Shaw, headed from the centre of the box. I mean, what a header, I have to say, by Bunny Shaw. I mean, I do enjoy watching her as an all-round player, but when it's against your own team, it's not fun. I mean, Matt, were you worried when we were 1-0 down within 5 minutes?
I think what my main issue was within those first 5 minutes. I don't know if we're going to come to the incident of Katie McCabe.
We will. We'll get there. We'll get there.
I'll leave that aside because just that isn't. You look at that goal. It's a really good work goal, and what makes it even better is the fact that she's got the instinct to run back on herself and then to direct the header as well. That's such a tough move to do that in almost 2 motions as a whole. And
I mean, it was 11 passes to get to that goal as well. That was what I found really interesting when I watched it back.
It's a very Man City goal. It's how Taylor sets the team up. The quick passing and movement. It's just it's so good.
It was very reminiscent of the game against City at away, where the first goal came from ball across the floor, and the second one came ball across from the floor, which is why I believe Sabrina was in goal to begin with, because she would have come in, collected those, not a problem. I think maybe Sabrina was a bit anxious and she wasn't maybe fully aware of that threat as much as she would have done, but I'm not going to take her away from that because she had a fantastic game throughout. And for me, she was player of the match.
She was my guardian angel.
Yeah.
She was my friend.
She's the D-Angel of the North.
Yeah, no.
Exactly.
Definitely.
And if anyone wants to see my picture is there.
Yeah, no. If anyone is about, do go and check Adam's page out. He's memed the players onto, how do I put this? Famous locations in England.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Sabrina, Angel of the North. Absolutely. Yeah. No, it was. I mean, the goal. I mean, you could see the defensive mistakes. McCabe didn't get to Chloe in time. Lottie lost Shaw in the box. So that was a real annoyance of what, and it was so early in the game. But that is how Gareth Taylor and Man City play. They are very good when they are allowed to do that. They are very good, and they're very good to watch.
I think what Adam was trying to talk about was the fact that Man City did what they did the first time around, and we just didn't know how to cope, and that was the issue. The fact of the matter is that they scored first, and it could have quite easily gone on and been more. Lauren Hemp, I won't talk about one of the ones. Oh, he's left again.
Okay, that's right. It'll pop up in a second.
He's on mute at the moment. So yeah, just Lauren Hemp had so many opportunities and she didn't look the Lauren Hemp of England when she steps onto the pitch for England. She's this. I don't want to call her an animal or a beast, but it's almost like she's a
different kind of player.
Yeah, she is a lioness. I think that's the best way. Is it? She will prowl across that pitch and she will roar.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%. But sometimes, as I've said previously, she just looks so tired. England rely on her heavily. So does her team.
I do wonder if mentally this season that's been the problem for her, because sometimes she just, even when the camera does pan to her, she looks so out of it.
She just looks knackered.
She's only scored 4 goals this season, hasn't she? She's only on 4 goals, I think.
Yeah.
For me, she's 4. And that once she spooned over the bar, tuck that away like Ford did against Spurs. That you have to take those chances. And it's what.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I completely agree with that. But back to my original question: were we worried when we were 1-0 down? No.
Yes.
Really? I wasn't. I was quite calm about it. Actually,
I wish I had your optimism. Just what I was
after Bayern Munich, this was no problem for me.
Well, hopefully the internet can last long enough for me to explain this. Just because I saw Manchester City just smother us, just the midfield. We had no creativity, no passing. I think we had one minor moment where Stina almost got through, and you're just thinking, I need some. We'd seen Ford go off injured. We'd seen McCabe pick up a silly booking because she'd lost her temper and donked Chloe Kelly on the head, which was very funny, but was quite rightly booked. And you're just seeing what? Give me to Arsenal. What is happening that will make me think you can get back into the game? Because I used to have the delusion that Arsenal win every game, but that was about 10, 15 years ago when I started supporting Arsenal. That's gone. So I have to look at the facts in front of me. And what I'm seeing is Arsenal, yes, they were sort of wrestling their way back into the contest. We hadn't gone 2 goals down. If we'd gone 2 goals down, game over. Because we're only 1 goal, I thought, okay, we're in touch. If Jonas can just get in there and make a few tweaks. And fair play to him in the second half. I mean, we targeted Kasagawa, we targeted Shaw. Shaw had about 4 defenders on her, so she couldn't head a ball. And we basically marked Kasagawa out the game. And suddenly, we were playing football. And it was a game not of fluency, but of fighting, of just resilience and courage and just... it's not all about how great we look and great. It's just about fighting on the pitch, not 2-footed tackles, but just with grit and determination, and that's what it was. And ultimately, when Man City were knocked out their stride, they couldn't do their passing went off, their plan went off, and that is the problem with Gareth Taylor's Man City. Once you knock them off their stride, when things don't go their way, they can't do what they want to do, and they don't.
They make half a ton of mistakes as well.
Yeah,
the mistakes I saw in that second half was just unbelievable. I was actually quite surprised.
Steph Horton.
I've watched a fair few City games this year, but I haven't consistently done it. So yeah, I was reasonably surprised considering what happened up at the Academy ground.
Yeah, I know. It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's really okay. But 10 minutes in, Katie gets a yellow card. She's now suspended for the next game.
Yeah, it's Man United way.
That's the one person we need. But hopefully, Steph Catley will be back. Fingers crossed, please. And I'm really hoping that Ford's injury is not too bad. Has anyone heard anything?
She's withdrawn from Australia and it's a hamstring, as Adam was mentioning.
No.
If it's about 2 weeks, though, we might have her in right as the
Might be okay, but what does this mean for Australia? Both of the Arsenal players have withdrawn and they're playing England.
Well, hopefully we can just leave Sam Kerr. So she's just going to have to rely on her, isn't she, for the goals?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. So, but it kind of makes me a little bit relieved they're not going. But obviously they're injured, so it's not great.
No.
But yeah, no, just it's good news, but it's not great news. But anyway, this yellow card for Katie, it was basically because she had an argument with the ref, and when she loses her rag, Katie will argue back when she thinks she's right. But initially, what I don't understand about this whole thing, the whole incident, Chloe Kelly stepped off the pitch, was 1 foot, and didn't move out of the way. You can see Katie had the ball behind her head, ready to throw in. What's Chloe Kelly doing?
She does this a lot. A lot of people don't actually see this in her game.
Right.
She likes to mess people around. I wouldn't call it a Katie McCabe move because essentially Katie, she likes to wind people up, whereas I think Chloe Kelly, she's more of an antagonizer. Yeah, thank you, Adam. She'll keep on going. She won't know whereas Katie will draw the line unless you've gone and try to 2-foot one of the players. And Katie's come in with a ready fight North London derby style for Ashley Neville.
What was the other one's name that she had a fight with?
Was it
begins with a C? I can't remember. I can't stand her.
She left in the summer, didn't she?
Yes,
well?
she did. She did. So that was the highlight of that game for me.
This is a lot of it. I've seen a lot of people turn around going, right, that's a red card because she's endangered players. No, Chloe Kelly stepped in her way to make sure that she's not been able to take a quick throw. In that incident, I would have given Chloe Kelly the yellow card, not Katie McCabe, because I was trying to play the ball.
For me, it's silly.
But initially, her card was given for talking back to the refs because the refs won't have it anymore.
I thought it was for
which for me, fair enough.
I thought it was for her just donking it on her head, and for that, I thought that's just stupidity.
No, I did watch it back, and I think it was Vicky Sparks that was sitting with Hope, and she said, "Yeah, it's for her basically talking back."
Yeah.
Not for the actual incident.
If it was for the actual incident, I think I would be turning around and asking the FA, like, that's not a yellow card.
Oh,
if you saw that in the men's game, that's not a yellow card. They'll turn around and go
fairness.
They would have done a yellow card to the player who did it, who stepped in their way. Because you've seen it happen a couple of times, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Ben White does that to our own players as well, doesn't he? We've seen him do it a few times this season.
Yeah, he just doesn't care.
Yeah.
But another thing I do want to bring up is Bunny Shaw. I feel like she deserved a card, not about 5 minutes later. She kind of she went in for the ball. It looks like she got the ball, but she also stamped on Katie McCabe's ankle, took her boot off with it, and nothing was done. Is it because it's not Katie McCabe that's doing it?
I think it's just the fact that the referee was woefully inconsistent, as it was in the Bayern game.
These sort of incidents have been going for a long time, though. There's actually, again, Bunny Shaw, I think it might be the incident you're talking about, where she actually goes through the legs of Leah Volti as well, and Leah's down on the floor, and she lets play on. Now,
yeah, no, I remember that. That was a bad foul.
That should have been a yellow for me.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Because you've gone through the back of someone, but she's just said play on. We talk about referees and inconsistencies and things like that. I always coin the term consistently inconsistent.
Yeah.
And it's more so in the women's game because you think about Leopold's was down on the floor with a nosebleed, and almost looked like she'd been in the. I don't really want to say it, but she was almost in like she'd gone to war, and almost butcher style, because the blood was everywhere. It was just ridiculous. We need if we're talking about a professional league, if the commentators and the commentators are not saying the names properly or not bothering to do the research, if the referees are being inconsistently consistent, if the referees are also semi-professionals, they're not caught. This is not a professional league. They need to be able to, at the end of the season, turn around and go, right, how do we make this fully professional? Make the referees full time.
Yeah.
Make sure that you've got people that know what they're talking about in the media and the gantries, and just learn from your mistakes. I'm sure a lot of the media people, they'll go through what games we've got this week. Oh, this week I've got the Finalissma. Right, okay, so I've got to do this and this for that.
Yeah.
I expect Laura Woods will be on the Finalissma, so she'll have a load of notes and things ready.
Oh no, definitely. The thing is, like, for people like us and obviously Woodsy, we know all about the England girls. Whereas I look at Brazil, I can name 2 people that I know of. I don't know anything about anybody else. Possibly 3 but I don't know if Gio's been called up. Do you know what I mean?
She wasn't.
But no. So there you go. So 2. And that is the legendary Marta, and of course Raffaele.
Oh, I'm surprised you didn't throw in Dabina in there as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a name I know, but I don't know her. Do you know what I mean?
No.
So it's as you said, a case of research. But back to the moment we got back in the game, and that's Frida Leonhardsen Maanum, right foot shot from centre of the box to centre of goal. That was a bit of a scramble goal, wasn't it? It was just last minute. You just watch all these bodies pile in front of the ball, trying to get the ball in the net, and then somehow Frida managed to sort of, I think, actually nutmegged Steph. I think it was Steph Houghton, and it went straight through. And it was just, she's done it again. She's back.
Just before
Player of the season.
Are you with us?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, go on, Adam.
Yeah. So I'll be quick as I can. So we talked about mistakes earlier. Steph Houghton mistake. Great defender, legendary Lioness. I just think maybe again, a bit like Hope Powell, maybe time is starting to catch up on her, because that was it. That was the only way we're going to get into it. A wonder goal or a fair mistake, and luckily we got both. The cross from Maritz. You know, it just the way she tried to block it. It was. Do you remember that video of Harry Maguire warming up when he leans forward and waves his back leg in the air? It was like that. It was a weird sort of scorpion sort of block, and all it did was suddenly Steiner suddenly got a clear run to the byline, and the Man City defence was just all over the shot. Absolute mess defensively, and thankfully we had a bit of composure in Maanum and got the equaliser. And from then on, suddenly the game's on, the title charge is on. We're back from the brink, and I just think completely unsettled Man City. I think after that there was only ever going to be one winner, and it's just again grit and fight. And thankfully we didn't. We managed to get that the equaliser. Interesting. That goal was technically assisted by Katie McCabe, which is crucial when you consider that the inverse had happened for the next goal. And in fact, the 2 of them in attack dragged us off the canvas. And massive flowers to both of them, because they won that game for us. And we, what a run of games McCabe's having. She's having a right. She's had a purple patch just when we needed her the most.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I think her foot's okay after we saw her in that boot. I think she's absolutely.
Yes.
Well, it's just to say, if you're not injured, get it out, get it off.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I'd rather be precautionary than if there's something wrong. Do you know what I mean? So, but I've got a shout out to the Arsenal admin. That video did make me laugh. That was absolutely brilliant.
I was even more infuriated because I discussed that joke with Alice on the way to the pub, and I was thinking, the ambulance meme. And I got to the pub, and it was all over Twitter. And I thought, I've lost my moment because I went for a pint. I missed the chance to get in first. Everybody was. Are you telling me that
Mr. Aidan Small beat you to it?
Yes, he did. He did. Fuming, but brilliant. It was a good
round
video.
Round of applause to you, Aidan. Honestly, you beat him. It's finally nice to see one pip him to the post.
You know what?
Because normally you're quite hot off the bat with that stuff, Adam.
I do try to be as quick as I can, but no, Aidan was and honestly, the production value was a lot higher and it was a lot better than what I would have done. So fair play.
Oh no, definitely. He even got Katie at the end. It was great.
I do look at that goal though, and it reminded me a little of what happened in Munich, where we had the corner, and ball comes in, it's bundling around the box, and all we need is someone to just hit it, just smash it, and it goes in. And unfortunately, it doesn't fall. I think we learned a lot from that. This time, Frida just went, "I'm hitting this," and bang, it goes in.
Definitely. Completely.
We've learned a lot, I think, from these games, especially the European games, where it's going to help us. Whereas if you look at someone like a City or United, that's going to more likely hinder them come the title challenge. I put it in brackets because I'm still awaiting the United, as always, crumble.
I don't know. They've been scarily as
just wait and see. That's all I've got to say on the subject.
I'm hoping they're going to crumble, but they've been scarily consistent so far. So you just, until that happens,
Well, the crumble might be coming out of the oven sooner or later.
Good.
So preferably around the 19th of April. But anyway. Sorry, go on, Matt.
No, I was getting my United were playing themselves apparently. United have got City when we've got Chelsea.
Yes, that's
as well. So when everyone was looking at these fixtures, everyone was going, "Who would you rather be in this situation?" Everyone was going, "I'd rather be Chelsea." But I'm thinking you got to beat the best to be
the best. Yeah,
and be the best as well. And I wouldn't change anything this season, if I'm honest. The victories, the highs, the lows. This has been the most Arsenal season you could ever wish for. You've had the injuries, the inconsistency, oh God, what's happening around January? To, oh great, we've got some new recruits and we've got some really exciting players coming through the doors. We've got players, winning a trophy. Around polls in Katrina Muller-Cool playing for some reason on the right wing every 5 minutes. But I wouldn't change a thing because this team just has the momentum and they have this belief. And I think I mentioned a long time ago that Jonas had this aura about him. And this aura is just spreading over this team at the moment to have that belief that they can go as far as they can, and that belief is keeping them going, and that momentum is the never say die. I saw when I saw that at half time, I didn't know if we could get back into that game, and I was proven wrong, and I was so happy about it.
No, definitely. I think you're.
About momentum. I'm really glad we got Man United really quickly off the international break. I want to get them out of the way as quick as we can whilst we're sort of riding this crescent, because after that, suddenly, all but one of the fixtures look extremely winnable. And if you beat Manchester United, suddenly the entire season has just flipped off the top there, just flipped ahead. Suddenly it's like, well, we're in a decent position for top three. And I'd say all but one of those, Chelsea, it could go either way, but all of them think we've got a good chance here. When beforehand,
lost him.
No, not again.
I heard beforehand and then it cut off.
I was just basically saying before at half time. Am I back?
Yep.
Yeah. I was just saying at half time we were clinging on to literally being on in now we're well back in the mix of it, which, thanks to a wonder goal, a Golazzo from the one and only Katie McCabe.
I think I've got to actually play this voice note, I'm afraid. I mean, this actually sums up the whole game. And obviously, to the audio listeners and YouTube listeners, we're all in a WhatsApp group. I was over on Arsenal, Mr. Arsenal TV. Matt was at home and Adam was at the game. And I've got to say, appreciate Matt a bit here. He's been wanting a Katie McCabe banger for a while now, but this was his reaction.
Yes! I was on a live stream. There's the Katie banger. I told you it was coming.
That's the most passionate Matt shout in a while. I mean, where is this?
Have you not seen that picture that I took of him when we won the Euros?
Oh no, that's
incredible.
No, that's the passion of sin. But I've heard it now.
I'm probably
audio for.
one of the worst people and best people to probably watch a match with, because either you're going to be like, who's this idiot I'm sitting next to screaming his head off every 5 minutes, or
Do you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm exactly the same. I'm exactly the same. Like, even when I can't see, I stand there and like if they're down by the south stand, I had him sitting there commentating. I know where the ball is because I can hear him, because that's what he does at games. He does his own commentary just to keep the nerves. That's right, isn't it? It's not sad at all. It's really handy. It's nothing to be embarrassed about, because you're bloody brilliant.
No.
You would have done a better job than most of the commentators we do get. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, and I should say, just to, obviously, for viewers of a nervous disposition, do not go on Twitter and see me jumping up and down in the stand.
You know what? That was fantastic, Adam, because you have this thing whenever you're on TV and Arsenal win, and they do capture you. You're so up at the moment.
Yeah.
And
you do.
It's fantastic. You're out there punching and you're waving your scarf around and everything.
I should have more self-control. It's embarrassing. Yeah, in that moment,
for football, there is no need for self-control.
In that moment of ecstasy and bliss, all self-control goes out the window, and you're just one with the moment, with the group and everything.
Adam, you stood there with me, and you know what I'm like at football. I'm a different person. I'm not cool, calm, and collected as I am now on the podcast. I am an absolute hooligan. I will sit there. I will scream my head off. I will insult the refereeing decisions. I will swear like a trooper. Oh no, I think it's the phrase is sailor, isn't it? Swear like a sailor. So, and it's also a case of like, it just gets rid of all the stress for the day, sort of thing. So, and it does make us all feel good. Honestly, I mean, we all just heard Matt's reaction to Katie's goal. So, and that was all of us. But obviously, this was captured in a moment.
It was. And the moment, if you ever get a chance, look at the bench cam and watch as McCabe is smothered by the coaching staff. She ran over to us, because obviously I was lucky behind the dugout. She ran the pylon, and you felt in that moment that they'd slipped. I think again, Man U and Chelsea, they'd blown winning positions like that already this season. And you just felt, with Beattie coming on, going to the back three, you just felt, no, they weren't going to let this one go. They've learned. You can tell it. They've learned throughout the season. And the rest of it was nerve-wracking watching the clock, but the way they professionally sort out the game. I think they had one chance. I think it was Alexandri with a long punt, which we tipped over.
I thought you talk about the Alex Horton free kick.
Well, Steph Horton. Oh, you're doing the same.
Alex Horton. That's it. Yeah, I'm thinking of Alex Greenwood and mean Steph Horton.
Do you know what, Adam? Me and you've been waiting to do that for about 2 or 3 weeks now. And we've got him.
We got it. We finally got him. And Steph Horton free kick.
We didn't even have to do anything either.
The Steph Horton free kick was a bit nervy, but thankfully our player, was it Lottie Maanum, took one for the team, flush in the face, and luckily we got a head injury timeout.
Yeah, no, she did, but that was kind of square on. At first, I thought she fell over McCabe, and then I looked on the floor and I went, oh no, that's Lottie on the floor. So she was a bit in shock. I was a bit worried about her because she was sitting there. She was shaking her head. She was a bit dazed. So I was a bit worried, but I was glad she managed to get up and got moving again, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I've actually got a really interesting question for you guys. With it being now 3 points in it for the whole title race, was this the perfect game at this point in the season?
In terms of us, or in terms of a double set in general?
Both.
So double set in general, fantastic. This is the drama we want. We don't want a one-team possession winning it every year, unless it's us doing the possessioning. But as in terms of, this is the first time I think we've got a proper four-way in for the title. Usually it's maybe two. Usually Arsenal, Man City will be chasing Chelsea. 4 teams have a genuine shout for the title, and Chelsea aren't even in the first place slot at this point in the season. And you need to have every team taking points from one another. One of the reasons we didn't beat Chelsea last season, apart from us, is the fact the likes of Man City didn't take a point off Chelsea last season. Neither did Manchester United.
But
now
the thing is, I think with Man City, you need to remember they haven't taken points off them in about 5 years.
Yeah, until obviously this.
Yeah, until last week. Yeah.
But you've got us beating Man City. You've got Man City beating Chelsea. You've got Chelsea beating Man United. You've got Man United beating us. It's just there's no There's no dead certs now, and this is what we need. All of a sudden now we're dragging Chelsea down to earth, to us, with these results. So absolutely, and narratives and drama, 100%. You don't want a Bundesliga where Bayern win it, every season. You want an idea that the team who's actually leading or joint top won't guarantee win the league. So narrative-wise, brilliant. The chance of Arsenal going from 4th to it wasn't joint second. Well, it was just second place. We didn't. Still 3 points behind Man United.
Yeah, because we've got the second highest amount of goals scored, so it'd be second.
And you got games in hand thrown into mix. I think from a confidence boost perspective, massive. We've only taken 1 point out of the 3 games against the bigger team, shall we say, because we had 2 defeats and a draw. So we've won 1, thankfully. We've now got 2 away from home, but the confidence we'll have. We've come from behind against Bayern. We've come from behind against Chelsea in the Conti Cup. We've now come from behind against Manchester City in the league, and done it with just pure fight and sheer willpower. I think we can if we ride this crest, we could do it. And if not first, we could get second, and that's great. That's great. That's a great season. And then we move on with a fitter squad. I'd say don't blow this. Don't do what Man City did and lose immediately after winning a really impressive result. Go again. Now go and beat Manchester United. Otherwise, this defeat will sort of mean nothing. Beat Manchester United in their own backyard, and then suddenly the league is yours. Just go for it, and just go for it.
The one thing that does worry me is that with everything going on, had we have beaten Chelsea at home, they wouldn't have that point advantage. We would have that 2-point advantage, and we would be in a better position. Yeah,
but if we beat Manchester United at home, if you'd hung on for those 3 points, we'd be 5 points further up the table.
I'm not summing it up. I was trying to just explain that had Chelsea have the chance to win the title again by a point.
It'd be annoying, but at the same time,
it'd be really irritating. But they've got to win something.
Whereas you look at further down the table as well, if you're talking about WSL, Leicester beat Reading at the weekend. That puts Reading down bottom.
How many points do they need now to be safe? Because it was a last minute from Carrie Jones, wasn't it? At 96th minute.
It's usually 16 points to be safe, but you couldn't say for certain how many points you're going to need to stay up, because it's almost, you've got, is it five teams that are still on 14 or less points? So it's
interesting thing on the Leicester game was they won it with a late winner, but of course early in the season they lost to Reading with 2. With Rachel Rowe, I think it was 2 90 minutes. So a bit of vengeance there for Leicester.
Definitely.
And I'd written off
Leicester, especially with them being at home. Especially with them being at home as well. That must be really good for them.
I'd written off Leicester. I'd signed off their relegation certificate. I thought they were gone. Now they're off the bottom, although Brighton have games in hand. You think, well, hang on a minute. They're just 1 or 2 wins. Suddenly they're only 2 points behind Spurs. Just 1 win defeat, and suddenly Spurs are gone. Which is a really exciting prospect. But anyway.
It could get interesting. I mean, because even they lost 2-1 at last minute at the 94th minute over the weekend, thanks to
Agnes Beaver
Jones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's just mad. I think I think Leicester, the Tottenham games are going to be absolute drama to the end of the season. Just to lose it like that.
Would Arsenal finishing top and Spurs finishing bottom make it the perfect WSL season?
As long as we finish above them, I don't care.
Well,
Tottenham Days is 2 games away in men's football, and it's already right for the women.
In the women's team, if Arsenal win the league and Spurs get relegated in the same WSL season, does that make it?
That'd be glorious.
I know. Glorious. That's what I mean. Imagine.
Absolutely glorious. I do apologise. I'm not actually. I need to clean my ears to claim that. But Matt, how did that feel like? Oh my god.
I'll just go back because Adam was talking about other leagues and he was talking about Bayern winning. Bayern haven't won the Frauenbundesliga for about 3 or 4 years. Wolfsburg have been winning that league season after season. You look at the French league and it's always Lyon up there, PSG up close, but that's about it. You look in the Italian league at the moment, it's now Roma taking charge over Juventus, because Juventus have a bit of a collapse this season. And then you've got a third and fourth race between both Milans. It's just this season across Europe and women's football as a whole has changed, and I think we're going to be thankful because of the Euros that how much it's changed and how much it's going to help develop, because we talk about this legacy and okay, there's a legacy close to home, but there's also a legacy in Europe. We're now seeing that we've got that there is a potential that Arsenal could finish fourth, win the Champions League, and then be in the Champions League next season.
Yeah.
It's the same situation as Chelsea, but it never occurs to anyone to see what the big picture is with the leagues. Is it going to be expansions? Is it going to be a second European competition? These are all in the pipelines. These are all dreams that we're probably having. That will be the case in probably 5 years' time. But the league at the moment is just everything's up for grabs, and at both ends of the table. And it's almost it's actually for me more exciting than the men's at the moment, because it's a case of only one team can go down. If Tottenham go down, the question is, can they go back up again? You look at other teams. Liverpool had to do it did it in 2 seasons. Bristol have taken 3 seasons. So it'll be interesting to see what happens if they do go down. But at this moment in time, anything's possible. But should Tottenham go down,
is it next season that we've got new ruling for 2 up, 2 down? Is that right? As well?
Is there a new ruling for 2 up, 2 down?
Yeah, I think that I saw something the other day, and I got Matt to explain it to me, but can't get. That's the easiest way I can sum it up is 2 up and 2 down.
Yeah.
Up into the Championship, but not promotion and relegation into the Super League or the Championship.
That's a shame. I know the Leicester manager was calling for that. That would mean that he was safe. So I can understand why he was calling for it, but he absolutely correct in what he was saying, though. Expansion is needed.
If Tottenham do go down, the amount of players that they're going to lose because of it. Beth England's only just signed, so I wouldn't imagine that she'd want to stay there.
No, she's not going to. She's a Lioness. She wants to be a Lioness. She'll come back up to someone.
I still think she would have been better off at Leicester, if I'm honest.
Yeah, me too. Completely agree.
Yeah, but she would have to move house, and it's easier to stay in London and just go to another London club. Maybe West Ham could have picked her up. Yeah, she would have done all right there.
You never know. She could go and join Crystal Palace.
Yeah,
never know.
They come up.
Yeah, I reckon she'd get them up eventually.
Very much.
Yeah, but that wraps up all of our WSL action. So that was a good weekend as far as I'm concerned. 3 points in it for the title race. Move on to something a little bit more exciting. It's the international break.
Finally.
Finally. I'm a little bit smug about this. I got Finalissma tickets at the last minute, so I am down on the halfway line opposite the tunnel. Really, really super excited for it. The Finalissma, England v Brazil. So excited at Wembley. But I think something that needs to be talked about is this New England kit. I was not impressed with it when I first saw it leaked on Footy Headlines. I thought it was plain, I thought it was boring, especially because I'd seen the Adidas ones first. For Spain, Japan, Germany, and I was like, oh my god, they're beautiful. And then I looked at England's one and I was like, don't want to see that. But the only positive I can take away from that is those blue shorts. As a woman, blue shorts are a lifesaver, especially when it's that time of month. I know Beth Mead and Georgia Stanway were absolutely talking about it, and Nike have actually listened. I know for a lot of women out there playing football in white shorts, it's a big red flag, especially at the time of month, and it's not great. Like running around and constantly worrying that you're gonna leak, it's not great. But I'm really pleased with Nike that they've got the blue shorts, and I've got to say that away kit's growing on me. It's got that bruised banana effect. I don't know if you boys agree, but
go on, Adam, you go.
it came to my mind because when we were watching the Man City play, they obviously have their they've changed their short colours. Sadly, Arsenal haven't done it yet, but apparently there has been discussion on it, and the players are happy with the shorts they're currently wearing. But a lot of clubs, a lot of teams are making this move, and quite frankly, it's a long time coming. That England have taken that step and brought. I know there's probably a mixed response to it, but they stock enough that both men and women can buy this kit, because we all remember some of the issues we had with the kit at the Euros. A lot of people
wasn't it last year they had about? I think Tim Stillman made this joke. Hopefully, Nike has got stocked more than 6 men's kits for this season, because I know.
I think even shorts, fair enough. I know some people aren't quite sold on the designs, but also we should say, look at the kits for some of the other teams. Yeah. There's some pretty impressive strips out there.
Definitely. I mean, I liked Sweden's that much. I thought I'd go and grab a Swedish Stina Blackstenius shirt. I'm even considering grabbing Manu Bucci in Japan, the Japan shirt as well. So, but for the Spain shirt, I really like it. But it's got to be Alexia, hasn't it? If you're going to pick a player from Spain, it's got to be Alexia. Or maybe Ona Battle, because she's been brilliant. I do enjoy watching her play.
Bonmati.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's Bonmati as well. There's so many to choose from in that team, but the first name on my list would be Alexia. Hopefully she's fit for the World Cup, but we'll see. I don't know what the latest information is on her at the moment, unfortunately.
There's a chance she could play in the new camp against Chelsea. I think that's what she's saying. But
that was right. I completely forgot. I did say that on the previous podcast, didn't I? Face pop moment. Lost him.
Yep.
Just to go over everything, this was the shirt that people couldn't get, and I love it. And my main problem with it is that we've now moved on to another shirt.
Yeah, no, but I understand why Nike have changed it, because if you look at that kit, those shorts are completely white.
I get that. That's fine. That's fine. I don't have what I have a problem with is that the whole of the kit has effectively changed.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Had the blue shorts with the hollow.
Actually, we could have actually done that. That would have looked really nice.
On the new shirt, so for the YouTubers, but if for the audio, basically what's changed on this shirt is you've got the on the shoulders. It's almost like a blue curve right at the top.
Yeah.
Which almost makes it look like it's for the US had a kit in, I think it was the 2006 Men's World Cup.
Yeah, actually,
that's
do you know
the
what? I
sort of
didn't
style
actually realise that.
It looks like where and if you look a bit closely on the new women's one, someone made this comment. I forget who did, but when you went to your grandparents and they had these bubbly things on the wall or on the ceiling, that's what the shirt looks like up really close. It feels very not. I'm going to say knobbly bobbly, but people probably. I'm sorry.
Do you know what you say, knobbly bobbly, and I think of the ice cream.
Yeah, that's what it's very much lumps and bumps. I think is probably the best term to use because But I think this shirt that I'm holding, the Euros winning shirt, an Arnold Clark 2023 shirt. It had another year in it.
I think it did. It should have lasted till the next Euros, if I'm honest with you. For me, personally.
Does the new shirt have anything on it to say that we're European champions?
No.
You
can't have a star unless it's a World Cup.
I don't know.
It's not like an emblem, just like on the shoulder saying we won the Euros, haha, or something,
That's the other thing as well.
That won't mean anything to the likes of Australia, New Zealand, and say Brazil.
As the World Cup
of it, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but it says Centre Victorious.
Oh wow!
No other shirt has that, so I don't know if they're going to change it. I don't know if they'll have anything like that on the inside now.
It might be send him.
Yeah, but you could imagine that'd be more for the men's than the women.
But if you, when you say that, the first thing I think of is the national anthem. So maybe it's that or it's something else.
So
Is it send them victorious, or was
send
it or
her
him or?
victorious.
Send her.
I don't know
No,
if
I
you
don't
can be
send-
able to see that.
Not
Okay.
quite. It's a bit blurry, Matt.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it does say send her victorious for those that are wondering on the audio. But
Yeah.
that away kit, I'm very
I
worried
prefer it
about
to the white one. I'm sorry.
when I compare it to the men's. I like it, but it's just again, if it feels the mix of the grey and the blue, it's almost like they tried to do a mixture of the 1986 away kit, which was blue,
Yeah.
and the 96 away kit, which was grey. They've sort of merged them together, and that's what we've got. Which it does look good as a concept, but at the same time, imagine if you're playing Japan. Japan have got a blue and white kit.
Yeah, and then they've got the pink and purple
It's
one
going
though.
to be a kit clash.
Yeah, no, of course. And then we'd have to wear the away
There is-
or something. Or they would have to wear their away kit because it's
I'm
a
pretty
pinky
sure either
purple
way
colour.
it'll be a kit clash.
Oh, we'll have to wait and see what sort of comes up really. I mean, it's just a case of see what happens.
Oh, Adam looks like he's about to say something. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. In a more humorous note, have you seen the kit shoots of the players?
Yes.
There's a very humorous one of Georgia Stanway.
Yeah.
Yes,
Someone has very cleverly turned into a Home Alone poster.
I saw that one. That was absolutely brilliant. I think
she got left behind at George's Park.
I also got sent a TikTok of it all, and what I found really interesting was when the girls are standing there having their front shots, they've got pegs holding their shirts back. They've actually got pegs on the back. Yeah. What I'll do is I'll send it to you guys later, but actual pegs to hold the material in place because the shirt's like maybe too big. So, for example, I think Lottie had it was just too big, whereas someone like Millie Bright and Rachel Daly, they like theirs a bit looser. Their shirts a bit looser. So they didn't have any, and I thought it was really quite odd.
It's sort of like tight round the front.
Yeah, so it's all fitted round the front, right, with the pegs. But if you without the pegs, the shirt is more loosely fitted. If that makes sense. We all know how Millie Bright wears her shirts. She likes them loosely fitted, whereas someone like Lottie, who's a little bit more petite, say she'll wear it a bit tighter.
It's a bit like the Homer Simpson meme when he's like 1,000 clothes pegs holding all his rolls in. It's basically like that.
Yeah, but it's obviously not rolls of fat. It's just a bit of a shirt.
Yeah, it's a lot less grosser than that.
Yeah, of
but
course.
If you know the meme, yeah.
Yeah, we know the meme.
I do find it a bit bizarre. Again, you don't really see things like that in the other photo shoots for. I hate the comparison, but it just.
Don't, but this was a behind the scenes TikTok video, which I found really interesting. So
it almost seems like they were in a hurry to finish the kits.
Maybe. I'm not too sure.
If that was the case, why not wait until the pre-World Cup games to announce these kits and then have them wearing the Finalissma. I mean, to get essentially three finals in that one shirt, give it one last hurrah, and then go from there.
Yeah, no, exactly. I completely agree with that. But again, it's money making, but also that new kit's not available till June. So are they going to play in the Euros kit? I hope so. I really do, because that kit does deserve 2 more games.
This kit that's been released is not actually on sale yet.
No, not until June 5th.
What I would say there is, isn't it great how much the Lionesses are being used for marketing?
I do really enjoy that. I do really, honestly, I really enjoy that.
It's not a kit that is the men's kit, isn't it? It's a kit unique to the Lionesses.
Yeah, as far as I know, yes.
Which is, again, something that wouldn't have happened 5-10 years ago. They'll be made to wear second-hand England men's tops. This is again, it's more marketing. It's more people buying into the brand of the Lionesses and women's football. So yeah, at least it's not a Stella McCartney range.
Oh, thank God for that.
But we're going to
thank my lucky stars for that every day. I never want to see another another collaboration with Stella McCartney. I don't wish them. I might wish them on Tottenham or Chelsea, but I don't wish them on any other club. Honestly, don't wish it on anyone.
The fact that they're offensive of making a not women's range, but a range devoted to the women's football, the Lionesses.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic, and people are buying it because obviously people want it. You know, it's. I think they had massively underestimated how much it was going to sell last summer. So hopefully, they've stocked up. But proper, you know, really good.
They have done the right thing this time around, though. They've actually released it. Said, "Oh, by the way, on this day, it's going to be released," so then people can get in and say, "Oh, I want this, this, and this." And there's going to be other teams as well. Websites that we all know and trust that that I somehow mispronounced one of them. Foodies have them. Other places will have them. It won't just be in one place like it was last time. And on top of that as well, they've released a really nice training wear alongside it.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, we've seen sort of snapshots today of them actually using it, and I'm like, I prefer that to the actual kit. So
do you will see them in like certain, so we say, sportswear brands owned by a former Newcastle United owner on the high street?
I don't know, and the reason I'm saying that is because
would they?
It's mainly because
they're pretty mainstream.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you look at the players' like social media and stuff, you'll see who's got endorsements with who, sort of thing. So like Mana, Stina, they're Adidas. Hence why they're in the Adidas videos, whereas Lena Hurtig is Puma. So it depends. I think it depends who they're signed with in terms of endorsements. To be honest with you, so
I'd hope that we could be able to see it in the shop that you're referring to, Adam. But that would be in the UK. If they don't, I think it makes him look bad because he's not endorsing the women's game. And the white shirt, the home and the away shirt from the lovely victory last summer wasn't available for them and it was so hard to get, as Lottie said. It would he make his mind up this time around? It's hard to say for certain.
Because as great as it is to have this range, unless it's easily accessible to everybody and not on a few bespoke sites and a pre-order, like if you can get this on the high street, if you can walk into any sports shop, take your pick and you can pick up a Lioness shirt off the rack, that's surely the goal. Not I'm going to go get a football top. Oh, I'll have that one. It's a Lioness one, and that should be it, shouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, no, definitely 100% agree with that. I mean, yes. But in other good news is Switzerland are going to host the 2025 Euros, which means Leah Volti is going to be a host, and also Noel, as well. Do you know what? It's really bad, but I occasionally forget about Noel. She's just so dependable. I just forget. It's really bad.
And the problem is when she speaks, she sounds American, so you forget that she's actually Swiss.
Exactly. So
she reminds me of Nacho Monreal because she's so consistently.
She's so dependable.
8 out of 10s each week, and you sometimes you do forget she is playing, but she's so much consistent.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
But we'll talk about the Euros, won't we? So just announced today.
But back to Thursday night. Well, first ever Champions Europe v the South American champions. In terms of heads-to-heads, 2018 we beat them 1-0 in an international friendly. 2019 we beat them 2-1 in the She Believes Cup. Not 6. Well, maybe just over 6 months later, Brazil beat us 2-1.
That was the World Cup hangover.
Yes, definitely. So we haven't really played them since 2019. We've been unbeaten since 2021, since Serena's at charge. I think something else that's really interesting, Marta has just come back from an ACL injury. Her first game back was against Japan this year's She Believes Cup. So she came on as a sub, and then she basically set up a goal for, is it Tabina? I think I pronounced that properly.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's back. She's up and running. She's not probably firing on all cylinders just yet because she was out since March 22. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting. What do we make of Thursday night then, boys?
Well,
You go for it, Matt. Go for it, Matt.
so I was just going to say, unfortunately, the Brazilian team were training at the Hive earlier today, and they had the unfortunate of meeting a certain Tottenham player wearing a Dabina shirt, Mr. Richard Arlison. If you get the joke, you probably don't, but probably explain that just quickly.
I've just
I thought it would be funny to basically set up this fake fake bus service to get fans over to Wembley, named it after Richard Arlison, and left them a load of them stranded. I thought it was funny. A lot of people didn't find it funny, but
yeah, in a way, if they lost money, I get it, but it is kind of funny. I get it, but it's not a great joke. If you know what I mean? It's a scam. It's not nice for anyone.
It is what it is. But anyway, the fact that he was visiting that doesn't bode well for me. The fact that you've got a Tottenham player visiting you just before a final. Let's not take it away. This Brazil team is fantastic. They're champions of America, South America, for a reason, and they've got a fantastic squad. Albeit some of them are going to be probably looking at their last World Cup this summer. But Brazil do what Brazil always do. They create fantastic footballers from a young age.
Yeah.
And I think this is almost like a scouting game for a lot of WSL clubs, especially some in Europe as well. If we do see Jonas Eideveld in the crowd, I wouldn't.
Hopefully we'll bump into him pre-match, and I won't miss in this time.
You're due.
Unlike you two. Unlike you two up at the Euros.
that was quite.
That was opening night, wasn't it, boys? Yeah, it was opening night, wasn't it?
You'd gone to get your shirt.
I went to Fruity's head office to go and pick up my first ever England shirt that I've actually paid for myself, and it had to be a Beth Made shirt, of course.
Me and Matt met the man himself.
Yeah, I know.
Didn't say anything. We just sort of hovered around. We're hoping that you're going to get there in time. Unfortunately,
we were not worthy. We were not worthy to speak with the man. We were not worthy.
I've already spoken to him a couple of weeks after after the West Ham game, just explaining almost like a monologue of what I said earlier, was that it was a roller coaster ride that season, and don't be sorry. Next time, we know what we're going to do next season. We're fully behind him.
Oh no, definitely. And look what we've got this season. First piece of silverware in a 3 and a bit years. Fantastic. Happy. We're all happy. We're all having a good season. Really? I think the icing on the cake is beating Leon 5-1 in their own backyard, and then going on to beat Chelsea in the final as well for the Conti Cup.
And beating Spurs 5-1 in their own backyard. I mean,
would you call that their own backyard?
I hate to say it, but it's a bit of a standard procedure for that, unfortunately.
It is now, yes.
All right, but back to the international football. What's the score going to be, boys? And also, how do you think Leah's going to do against Raffaele? Because they're both captains for this game. I think it's going to be really interesting.
It's going to be fascinating. The other thing to compare it to is like kids' cartoons, where like the best friends end up having to fight each other, and it's really emotional.
Yeah.
Sad because like, they love each other, and it's like it's going to be one of those, when they both have mutual respect, but they must. I don't know, because I really haven't really given any thought to it, because I've been so focused on WSL, and it's like, oh yeah, there's that really big game at Wembley that everyone's been talking about. It's happening in about 2 days' time. It's at Wembley, so I've got to go for an England win. So I'll go a 2-1 England win.
Nice. You think Mary Epps is going to let one between the sticks?
I think Matt is. Despite being president of her fan club, I don't think he's confident that Mary Epps will have a clean sheet.
To be honest, I'm quietly don't think so either.
Yeah,
Especially not with Dabina and Marta around. Nope.
I think we're going to see a fantastic game. Just to get it into perspective, if this does finish 1-1, it goes straight to penalties. There's no extra time. And
I wish there was an extra time. Although I don't think I'm ready to sit through that again after the Euros. I'm still not quite over that trauma yet.
if I had to pick a perfect opportunity to see how we do in a penalty shootout and see who could potentially be our penalty takers, this would be the ideal moment, because although yes, there's a trophy at stake, at the same time, it also means that Mary Earps has to be on a game. It also means that, well, I say Mary Earps, but it could potentially be one of 4 goalkeepers in
Roebuck,
Hannah Hampton, Sandy McIver as well. So either way, it will be interesting to see who would be our 5 penalty takers. I'd imagine that obviously with Frank Kirby not being there as well, that means that someone else would have to step up as well. But I just really want, I know it sounds really sad and soppy, but I really want to just see a lovely game of football. I want to see the Brazilian samba beats, and I want to see England be
England.
England. Yeah, I think that's the best way to
That's the best way
describe
to.
it.
Yeah.
It's got all the makings. Go on, Adam.
Just 2 things. There's some really interesting things with this Brazil game being at Wembley. First, with penalty shootouts, England have had 2 penalty shootouts in their tournament lives. The first ever European final and the quarter-final against France in World Cup 2011. We've lost them both, so we could really do with winning one to get that feeling. Also, 2012 Olympics, Team GB played Brazil at Wembley in the group stage. It was the record crowd attendance thing for a women's game. It was an amazing moment. We won it 1-0 with a Steph Horton goal, but sadly...
Oh, no.
Oh, just at the wrong moment.
Yeah.
Missed a penalty as well, which I just had it saved. I just think
Adam,
all the people
you're
I
going to have
wanted
to
to score
rewind
that
back to Steph Houghton, I'm afraid.
Did you miss the
right,
so Steph
penalty?
Houghton-
Yeah, you
Steph
froze.
Houghton-
You froze. We lost you there.
Yeah.
You're going to have to rewind Steph. Oh, no, not
It's
again.
frozen again. I'm guessing that Adam means that Steph Horton scored a free kick, but then she had
a really early goal. Yeah, that's the curse.
There we go. No. Yes. No.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Steph Horton. Steph Horton scored an early goal. Kelly Smith then missed a penalty in the second half, and I really wish that Kelly Smith scored it because she deserved that moment at Wembley. And I just think, it was an iconic moment, like this record attendance at Wembley of fans watching football, and it's an element in full circle now with us coming back with a trophy, and fans are going to be there and really excited. Which is obviously England, not Team GB.
You pressed me for a scoreline, and I still can't give you one if I'm on it. But
Okay, England win or Brazil win? Don't have to give me a number. I'm not going to put you on the spot like Adam because I can't predict.
I think
I
it's
have
going
no
to go to
idea.
penalties. I think that's going to be the case. But I think the question is because we still don't know a lot about this Brazil team. I have a feeling that's going to be undoing. But then again, Serena does like to do her homework, and she does know these. She'll probably be able to spot these mistakes. So
yeah, I know she's definitely been watching Raffaele. She's been at our games, so that's probably one player she has been watching because she can watch it.
When she goes to these games, no one seems to be able to ask her for photos or anything like that because she's always in like either the hospitality or anything like that.
Yeah, I think it's also a case of she might be working, but she also wants to just have some chill out time. So I get it. Yeah, I get why she does it.
She's I've met her part. She's walked past me. I was able to say hello to her in Dutch, which I was very proud of. So yeah, she just walked. But also, Vic Akers walked past me as well at the game. And,
yes, I know you sent us a fanboy picture on the WhatsApp group.
Thank you. Just thanks Vic for everything. It's like, it's all right, mate, and just carried on walking.
Do you know what? He just seems like such a normal guy, and I think
He is.
a lot of what we see on the pitch today is because that's where it started, and that's one of the main reasons we are called Vic Akers Wonderland. It's where it all started for the Arsenal, and
one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and very down to earth.
Exactly.
Being able to just spare 15 minutes with him on that touchline against Chelsea that day, he was such a nice guy. Very easy to talk to. Very nice, even when he was talking to alongside Jordan as well. They were just having a good old chatter, and he seems to bring out this social side in the players, which I imagine when you think about I'm going to rewind our Champions League. You had players that were coming over from Ireland and Scotland to train a couple of days a week, and on top of that, they were working as teachers and all sorts of jobs doing odd ends and bits. But imagine only having it a couple of days before that final and just saying we've got to train for this final, and then going back to your imagine. I know Alex Scott scored the winner, but imagine if it was Alex Scott was like a teacher that then. Oh, how did your weekend go, miss?
Technically, she was. She did do it. If you read a book, you'd know. Technically.
Spoiler.
I didn't know. I genuinely did not know. But
don't tell me you haven't read it yet.
I haven't got her book. I've got Beth's book, but I haven't got Alex's. Oh, you're both shocked.
You enjoyed your last appearance on the Vic Akers Wonderland podcast. Applications will be going live after podcast for a new guest. But
oh God, no, you need to get it. I reckon I've told Adam off for it. I wondered why you went so quiet the last time I told him off for it on the podcast.
A GoFundMe to buy Matt the Alex Scott book will be live on Twitter soon. Please give what you can to get Matt the book.
Yeah, no, definitely. Adam will be setting that up for us for sure. So he'll be in charge of that. But anyway, boys, I've really enjoyed this show. Thank you for joining me again today. Obviously, we will be back next week at some point because we do play Australia on Tuesday night, so we're going to have to work out when we can make the next podcast. At this point, I think it'll probably be next Friday. There'll be a new one out for all my audio listeners and everyone on YouTube. But if you have enjoyed today's show, please drop us a like and a subscribe. Really appreciate it. We're almost at that 50 mark now, and every time that goes up, the boys can confirm. I get very excited, and I feel very privileged to have you all with us. Yeah. Again, boys, thank you for joining me.
If we had 100 subscribers.
Yeah, no, we're on the road there. We're almost there. Let's just get past the 50 mark first, Adam. But anyway, thank you everybody for joining, and we'll see you soon.